Welcome. To Arcade Audio.
Don't stop, we're in luck now. Don't stop, there's so much to be found. We can't find paradise. All we have to do is go, free your soul.
Hello, Bones and Krillins. Welcome to Dilettante Ball Z. I'm Spencer.
I'm Johnny.
And here on Dilettante Ball Z, we go on our couch.
We watched Dragon Ball Z Kai.
And we talk about it.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah, Johnny, this is episode number 1 of Dilettante Ball Z.
Yeah. I think before we get into anything, we should mention we have a lot. We have a lot to talk about.
There's a lot going on. This is going to be a ripe episode.
So you might be saying, well, you never said that you were actually going to do this.
Right. We talked about it and we hinted at it.
And we've done that a lot.
Yeah.
But we're here to make good on our promise.
For once.
Because we are Arcade Audio, the network that we are a part of, is starting a Patreon. So we're this episode, along with some other bonus content from
Podswoggle, from Human Minority Resources, from every podcast on the network.
We're
Riverside Falls.
We're going to be throwing some bonus content up in the Patreon bonus content zone.
Yeah, that's what we're calling it.
So we're gonna give you episode 1 of Dilettante Ball Z here on the regular stream, and then everything else from here on out for Dilettante Ball Z will be for Patreon backers only.
Yeah. So if you think it's something that you might like, if it's something you might enjoy, along with all the other content on the network, head over to patreon.com/arcadeaudio. And if you pledge just $5 a month, you'll have access to all that material forever.
I believe there's a pretty hefty backlog of Podswoggle bonus content that's already going to be up and ready to go.
Yeah. So if you're a Podswoggle fan, if you're a wrestling fan, there's all kinds of fun stuff, drunk histories and rumble and bumble and stumble and stuff like that.
Yeah. Or you could wait a year, donate for 1 month, and download it all, and then stop donating.
That's true. It's really up to you. And there are more reward levels as well. So if you want like pins, T-shirts, things like that,
for I think just $2 a month, we send you a postcard.
Yeah,
on your birthday.
Yeah,
it's
a free postcard on your birthday for just $2 a month. It's nothing. It's crazy, guys.
Yeah, and every donation will help out every podcast on the network. But then you are also able to choose if you want it to go, if you want the bulk portion to go to a specific podcast or podcasts, and if you don't choose, it'll be divided evenly amongst everyone on the network.
Exactly. So, yeah. So you support the people you like, and you don't support the people you don't. Except you still kind of do.
Yeah, but that's okay.
Yeah.
High tide raises all ships.
That's all we're trying to say.
So we would appreciate it, but the most important thing that you can give us is just listening to us.
Just listen to us.
Yeah. So obviously no pressure to donate, but
not at all.
God, we need that sweet money.
Johnny, let's set this podcast up a little bit. You've never seen an episode of Dragon Ball Z.
I watched maybe 1 or 2 like in elementary school when Dragon Ball Z was like real big.
Sure.
A bunch of kids were into it, and I was like, all right, let me check it out. And I said,
you said there's no Pokemon in here.
I said there's no Pokemon in here. Every episode takes 400 hours and nothing happens.
And you're not wrong. So, Johnny, I as a kid growing up, middle school, high school, I love Dragon Ball Z. I watched almost every episode. And you're right, they drag on and on and on. But
more like Dragon Ball Z.
So what Toonami has done is they've gone ahead and basically gotten rid of all the chaff. They separated the chaff from the wheat, and what we have left over is a TV show called Dragon Ball Z Kai.
And if I'm not mistaken, the reason there is so much chaff is they were waiting for the manga to be written.
More or less, the manga was being written as the episodes are coming out.
So it was like...
So you ended up with literally an episode of Goku and Piccolo having to take a driver's test, which makes 0 sense, but we needed some filler for the week. So now that we've gotten to the point where all of Dragon Ball Z has been written, we don't need to do that anymore.
What does the Z stand for?
Z Fighters. Master Roshi's symbol is a Z.
We'll get there. We'll get there. Oh, brother.
So, Johnny, we watched the very first episode.
What does Kai mean?
Kai, I don't know what Kai... King Kai probably is a reference to King Kai, who you'll meet later on.
God damn it.
So, episode number 1, I just want to say, is called Prologue to Battle, The Return of Goku.
It seems like it's... Now, I don't know if this is the case, because I looked a little bit ahead, and most episodes sort of had 2 titles. Is that because they were just like mashing up multiple episodes?
I bet it is the case.
Because it's prequel to battle, ! Then the return of Goku.
Yeah. I think that is the case. And the episode starts out with a little bit of like
seems like it tells you everything that happened in Dragon
A
Ball.
lot of backstory, which that did not exist in the original run of the first episode.
That's pretty cool because I feel like there was probably a lot of Dragon Ball. Did you watch Dragon Ball?
I haven't watched all of it. I have maybe watched half of it so far.
I can remember Dragon Ball used to be on TV when I was like a kid in the mornings, like with Sailor Moon. I don't know what channel, but like we didn't have
Cartoon
cable
Network
growing up. We didn't have cable, and it was on like when I was in probably elementary school.
Okay.
It was like Sailor Moon and Dragon Ball. And I remember because I loved the theme song to Sailor Moon.
That's awesome.
When we're done with this, we will be doing
Sailor Moon Z. Ball.
Dilettante
Moon. I can't wait for that. I'm very that's hundreds of episodes in the future. So yeah, if you didn't watch Dragon Ball, don't worry. We got this little primer. We're gonna explain who Goku is. We're gonna explain who Piccolo is. That's what they did, and they even explain
Piccolo Jr.
Piccolo Jr. Don't worry about it's Piccolo for all intents and purposes. Don't worry about Piccolo Senior. It's a non-issue.
But they are two different guys.
They are two different guys. Piccolo Senior was killed by Goku, and Piccolo Jr. took his place.
And was he like a clone that got big early, or
yeah, basically, yeah.
Okay,
he was an egg clone.
Okay.
Don't concern yourself with much of Dragon Ball.
Well,
although we're gonna have to talk about some Dragon Ball in this episode.
Before we get into that, the intro. First of all, the song is a banger.
The song is very good.
The line that stuck out to me is, which I feel like we will encounter probably over and over again. Nothing ever dies; it will rise again.
Johnny, that's a little bit of a spoiler alert. Don't worry. If there's one theme from Dragon Ball Z, Dragon Ball GT, it's when you die, it doesn't matter because we're going to bring you back to life.
I will say, though, the song is like 45 minutes long.
Yeah.
It's like...
I found myself sitting there, I was like, what the hell is happening?
There was a point in the middle of the song where I was like, oh, all right, cool theme song.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
then it's like...
It reaches a crescendo and then... yeah, part 2.
Yeah, it's crazy. Also, did they make an entirely new intro animation sequence?
Yes.
Because that was like very crisp, nice new animation, and then it cuts the episode and it's like, oh, this is
it's like fuzzy,
like standard definition,
just like crappy.
Crazy.
Yeah, like they clearly drew it with like felt tip pens.
Yeah.
Like this looks like crap. Yeah, and there's also characters in the intro and outro that you won't see for episodes and episodes and episodes.
That's kind of cool though, that because on normal TV shows it's like the whole intro is from the first half of the first season,
right? For sure.
Whereas this is like we got some stuff.
Yeah, exactly. We've got 200 episodes or whatever to draw from.
That's fun.
So after the intro, it also starts out with can you explain to me what happened in the beginning
in Dragon Ball?
In Dragon Ball Z.
Well, I'll give you what I could glean from Dragon Ball.
Okay.
There's a boy called Goku who's basically the Superman of his planet, which is planet Vegeta, which is also the name of a person. I'm aware of a character named Vegeta.
So far, you're crushing it, and you're exactly right to be skeptical.
Okay, so that's crazy. The boy has a tail. I don't know why. And then later in the episode, he's like, yeah, my son has a tail like I used to. And then they just don't talk about it. So that's cool. And he fights him. He gets sent to Earth because planet Vegeta gets destroyed like Superman.
Exactly like Superman.
And his name is his name is not Goku actually. It's Ka-El.
It's funny because you're really not that far off.
No, it's Corbin Blue. Fuck, what's his real name?
It's Kakarot.
Karkaroff. Uh-huh. Yeah, Igor Karkaroff.
Right. It's Boris Karloff, famous Frankenstein man.
He was a Death Eater. So he leaves planet Vegeta, comes to Earth.
Uh-huh.
I don't know when this is supposed to take place. It seems relatively modern, I guess. I also don't know where.
It's really hard to say because they have hover cars, but then also dinosaurs exist on this Earth.
Okay. That's great. The boy has a tail. There's a character named there was Piccolo who Goku kills, and then Piccolo Jr. who is still around, it seems.
He is still around.
There's a bad man, Mewtwo the man named Frieza.
Yeah, you're not wrong though.
Who laughs like Ursula the Sea Witch.
You will love. I'm telling you right now, you will love Frieza.
Really?
He will be your favorate character. Yeah, you're gonna love him.
I don't know if he even says anything, but he definitely laughs like Ursula when she steals Ariel's voice. Okay, he has a tail. He's Superman. Bulma is wearing a shirt that says Bulma on it.
Okay, hold on.
Which is
before
this is before we even get into Dragon Ball Z. These are just off the dome from the this is what happened on Dragon Ball.
Before we even get there, when you're talking about Frieza blowing up the entire planet, I don't know.
I didn't catch that.
Oh, he blew up.
He blew up Vegeta.
He blew up
Planet
Vegeta.
Okay.
Yeah. The main man he killed that was trying to stick up to him was Goku / Kakarot's father, and his name is Bardock. They didn't say his name Bardock, But all of that
like the piano composer Bela Bartok.
yeah, that's who it is actually. It's based off of that man. That was all explained in a separate VHS that came out much later.
No.
So Frieza, that fellow, he comes in season 2 in the Namek saga.
Are we watching the Namek saga?
No, right now we're watching the Saiyan saga. Don't worry about that too much. The point is Frieza.
So when does Frieza? How long until I can watch this? See which Mewtwo destroys people.
It's gonna take you like 30 or 40 episodes.
Holy
to Frieza.
fuck! Are you kidding?
Yeah, he's basically, it's like we haven't even got to the main villain of this season yet. Once that villain is destroyed or whatever, then we'll move on to the second season. We'll get a new big bad, and then we'll move on to the third season. And that's basically how Dragon Ball works.
Sure.
There's a new big bad for every season.
Okay.
So Frieza will be coming up in season 2. Anyway, the point is, we didn't know Frieza existed until we get to season 2. So we had no way of setting up this backstory until much later. So we had to explain. So basically, what had to happen is, it's like, well, why was Planet Vegeta destroyed? Well, Frieza did it. Well, we didn't talk about that. Oh shit. Well, let's release this VHS straight to DVD.
Wait, so in the whole series of Dragon Ball, they never said why the planet blew up?
In Dragon Ball, none of this happened. Like, none of the stuff in Dragon Ball Z has anything to do with Dragon Ball, really.
Then why did they tell us? Why the fuck did they tell us?
Dragon Ball is really interesting because the entire series of Dragon Ball is basically them trying to find the Dragon Balls.
Yeah, I gathered that. I guess.
And that's it. It's just like a lot of fun, goofy little adventures. And there is some danger here and there, like with the Red Ribbon Army.
Don't. Please, let's take this slowly.
Okay. And then Dragon Ball Z happens and it sort of subverts everything. It's like, oh no, this is big time now. Now we have big monster men coming to Earth, and we got to kill these monster men.
Okay.
So it's much simpler in Dragon Ball Z.
Okay. I'll take your word for it.
Okay.
What else?
The point I'm trying to make is all of that the prologue that you got that really helped you out to understand what's going on, that didn't exist in the original run.
Weird.
We didn't get that until years later.
Okay. The only other thing that I gathered from the beginning montage is that Goku marries a woman named Chi-Chi.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I got nothing for that. She's in Dragon Ball too. All these characters you'll see, except for the aliens, they are all from Dragon Ball.
So there were no aliens in Dragon Ball, except for the boy with the tail.
Right. And in Dragon Ball, we didn't know he was an alien. We just thought he was like a little boy with a tail and he had a crazy...
Do we learn... That's so fucking wild.
Yeah. So when Goku finds out that he's also an alien is when the people at home find out as well. They've known this boy for...
Why does he not have a tail anymore? Do we find that out? Or is
that happens in Dragon Ball.
Why?
They cut it off.
Oh, God.
Yeah. Well, you'll find out what happens.
Okay, I'll take your word for it.
You'll see. You'll see why having a tail was bad for the Earth.
Okay. So episode starts.
Mm-hmm.
Goku has a son named Gohan, which sure,
whatever.
Sure, like this is my son. Hey, my name's Dennis. This is my son, Denise. Like,
yeah. Okay. I'm George Foreman. This is my son, George Foreman.
Yeah. And Gohan is like playing in the woods, running around. Chi-Chi is looking for him and can't find him. So she sends Goku to look for him.
Right.
Goku flies on a cloud and somehow didn't realize he was a fucking alien, but he flies on a cloud. Can all humans fly on clouds?
No, only people that have pure hearts can fly on the Nimbus. He was gifted the Nimbus by Master Roshi as a child.
This fucking show. Also, Goku.
It's also real quick. I should mention this is all an allegory, or not an allegory. It's basically a direct pull of an ancient, maybe Chinese story. So all these elements, like it's like a monkey boy who flies in a cloud. Like all of Dragon Ball is basically a reference to this story.
Ancient Chinese story, huh?
Yeah, it's Calgon, Ball Z.
Fuck. Also, I was very surprised to see and hear Goku because I was expecting him to be much more like heroic.
Yeah.
And he's a goddamn doofus.
He's a goofball, right?
And I was surprised, and I was pleasantly surprised.
It's very nice, yeah.
Because he was just like, he's just a doofus.
Yeah, and as a kid, he's like a gosh, like crazy little G-golly little kid.
And Gohan seems like a bit of a scamp.
He's a little bit of a baby, is what I would call him.
Sure.
He's 4. He's 4 years old in this.
Yeah.
When Dragon Ball started, Goku was 6. He was about the same age as Gohan, and Goku basically lived in the woods by himself. He's like not a feral child, but he was like a wild man.
Sure.
Real nice kid, kind of wild. And Gohan is definitely the opposite of that. Gohan is very like coddled.
Sure.
He's a mama's boy.
Okay.
Very, very opposite of Goku.
But he is allowed to wander in the woods and fall on a log and off a waterfall.
Yeah, basically, yeah. He's allowed to kill himself.
So then Goku rescues him upon the Nimbus. and they go home, and they're basically he tells Gohan and Chi-Chi, hey, we have to take Gohan now to get his first lesson with Master
Master Roshi.
Master Roshi.
Uh-huh. You may know him as a turtle hermit.
I know him as a goddamn pervert, but we'll get there.
Yeah, you're not wrong.
So let's see. Gohan. Here's the thing that I noticed. When Gohan, before Goku rescues him, this log is about to fall off of this waterfall.
Right. So Gohan's trapped on a log. It's about to fall off a waterfall.
Goku like comes over and to see where he is, and Gohan's like dangling from a branch that's super high from where he was, like Harry Potter. He does Harry Potter magic without realizing. He
does do Harry Potter magic.
So I feel like Gohan probably has some powers.
Yeah. Interesting.
But he doesn't know.
Interesting. Yeah.
What else? Oh, okay. Then also a man with long hair, very, very too much hair. A man with too much long hair lands on the planet in like a
lands on Earth, yeah,
like a crater. He crater lands on Earth, and we get like an extended crotch shot of him in like a garter and no pants, and just like a bug shield over his crotch. So
what was that man's name?
I don't know.
Maybe
if they said.
they may not.
I don't
have.
think they said.
They may not have. His name is Raddatz.
Raddatz, like the Pokemon.
Yeah, he evolved from Raticate.
Yeah,
Raddatz. Yeah.
And he's looking for powerful men.
He is.
He meets a hillbilly who only has a power level of 5. He shoots,
and you have no basis to know.
No.
Okay. But
he does have like a HUD. A HUD scope.
He has an HUD. Yeah. You'll come to know as a scouter.
Okay. Okay. So Hillbilly Man has a power level of 5, and he tries to shoot Raddatz. Raddatz grabs the bullet in midair and throws it back at him faster than any man or any beast can throw a bullet.
Yep. And kills the farmer, the hillbilly.
Yeah.
Which my question is, can you show that on TV?
Apparently
Can you show a man getting shot and killed?
Yeah, you can.
All right.
So then we cut back to Gohan and Goku, who cloud fly over to this island. They're like Jimmy Buffettville.
Yes.
And there's a place called Kame House.
Yeah, which Kame means turtle.
Okay. In
Japanese.
Real Japanese?
Yeah, I believe so.
Or space Japanese?
Real Japanese.
Okay. So we're wasting away again at the Kame House, and this old man, Master Roshi. Master Roshi. So Bulma shows up, and he just straight up tries to grope her, which is like fucking insane.
Yep.
How often does that happen in this show?
In Dragon Ball Z, not very often. In Dragon Ball, it was more often because it's funny.
Sure,
so to speak.
That was like,
and the thing is, Master Roshi never gets anything. He never gets satisfaction. He always gets his comeuppance.
Well, he should get a fucking jail sentence.
He should. You're not wrong. But he is definitely like an old creep man, which is a trope in Japanese in anime.
Sure.
I'm not saying it's good or bad.
Right.
It is. It just is. So every time he tries to do something like that, he gets hit in the face with a frying pan.
Someone should throw a goddamn bullet in his head. Where's Raddatz?
He should be killed by Raddatz.
So that happens. I don't know who Bulma is, and he lives in a house. Master Roshi lives in a house with a turtle, who maybe has like above normal turtle intelligence.
He does. He speaks
on Earth, and a little bald man called. What's his name?
His name is Krillin.
We don't know who they are, other than old man trained Goku when he was little.
Old man also trained Krillin when he was little.
Krillin's still little, dog.
He is very little.
And Krillin and Goku have they have similar sartorial tastes.
They do. They certainly do. They shop at the same Kmart.
They're wearing like bright orange like prison geese. With the same symbol. I don't know if it's real Japanese or space Japanese.
I don't know the answer to that. But that is the Z on their shirt, which is where the Z comes from in Dragon Ball Z.
Is there a Latin
I'm not
Z
sure.
in there somewhere okay. So we show up there. We find out that Gohan's hat has a fucking Dragon Ball on it. And if I am to understand what the Dragon Balls do, if you collect all 7, they grant you a wish. A dragon comes and grants you any wish.
Shenron the dragon comes and grants you a wish.
And Goku has 1/7 of these magical balls on his stupid fucking son's hat, and he lost it, and Goku had to pick it up because he fell in a river.
Yeah, you're right.
Also, like, how heavy are these things? Because that is not a good hat thing.
They're not super heavy, but they are certainly not a good hat thing.
In my head, they're about the heft of a fushigi ball.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, but that's a standard unit of weight. Yeah, a fushigi ball, one fushigi ball. So in Dragon Ball, they use this thing. I don't remember. I think it's just called a Dragon Ball tracker. And Bulma is basically, she's a genius inventor who's also.
I knew she was a scientist because she was wearing a lab coat.
That's how you know. And she's also the daughter of another genius who is I forget his name. So she has this thing that can track the Dragon Balls, and that's how they were able to more easily track them down in Dragon Ball.
Did they get all of the Dragon Balls in Dragon Ball?
But several times, actually.
What? Why didn't they keep?
So once you make the wish, all the Dragon Balls are scattered to the far corners of the earth, and they're in a random place every time, and they turn into stone for the first year.
So what you're telling me is they didn't expect the show to go on past the time when they found the first set of Dragon Balls.
Well, I can't answer that question. I'm not sure how much of the manga was written at the time, but basically in the manga, Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z, they're all just one story. So it starts from, well, I won't say where it ends, but it starts from Goku's youth and just progresses with him as he ages, sort of like Rose is Rose. Which is a comic from the Funny Papers. It's a cool reference I just made.
Sure.
So anyway, so the guy who wrote it, Akira Toriyama, I think he knew what he was doing.
Okay.
I will say when the manga ended, the TV show kept going.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Does the person who wrote this have any input on the TV show?
He didn't at the time, and since then there is now a show called Dragon Ball Super, which he does have input.
Okay.
And so Dragon Ball Super is supposed to be pretty good.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So, I guess am I safe in guessing that they didn't make great wishes?
Do you want to know what the first wish they made was?
In Dragon Ball?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
It was a little pig named what was his name? Oolong.
A pig found all of the Dragon Balls?
Well, it's a talking pig.
Okay, Oolong, like the tea.
Yeah, exactly like the tea. Yeah, and in order to an evil man named Emperor Pilaf,
like the pilaf,
like the
rice dish.
Mm-hmm. He's like a little troll goblin man.
Okay.
He was gonna wish to rule the world, and so before he could make that wish, Oolong had to just intercept the wish, and so he shouted out, "I wish for the world's best pair of underpants," and so that was the first wish.
This show fucking sucks. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me?
Well, if he had to just speak up real quick, or otherwise,
I wish for this bad man to die. I wish for this bad man to never be able to get all the Dragon Balls. I wish for like 5 minutes to come up with a better wish. I wish for $1 million.
Yeah, right. I mean, you're not wrong.
Also,
Oolong is also kind of a pervert.
Great. A pervert pig. Awesome.
Yeah.
So who collected all the Dragon Balls then?
It was a team. It's Bulma and Goku and Krillin.
Where were all of them, and why did they leave all of them with a pig? Why did they leave the Dragon Balls?
They were all together. I don't know. I don't remember the exact circumstances, but it was Oolong's time to shine.
If you collect them together, shouldn't you be the one to make? Like, why was this bad man able to even make the wish?
He like stole them.
Oh, hey, I've been here too.
Well, it's just whoever kind of shouts out to the dragon first, I guess. It's like he gets summoned, and whatever wish is the first thing he hears, he sort of just grants.
Sure.
He's like a computer program. You know what I mean? Like he's not here to judge or anything. It's just does input work. Yes.
Okay.
Then grants.
Okay.
You know.
So then Raddatz meets someone else. Who does he meet? He meets Piccolo.
He meets Piccolo
Jr. Who has a power level of 300 something.
Yes,
I don't think I read
power level of 322.
322.
It's pretty respectable.
I mean, if someone with no powers is 5.
So an average man is 5. For reference, Goku at the beginning of Dragon Ball, when he was just a kid who had no training, his power level was 10.
I am aware that at some point someone's power level is over 9,000.
Yep, that's true.
Because I have been on the internet.
Yes.
So, but for a magic green man, 320 feels low.
Sure, yeah. Well, you'll find out later that that's not his true power. There's all kinds of little quirks and fun little things about they.
Yeah, sure.
Here, I'll give you a little spoiler. He wears weighted training armor, so when he takes off his weighted training armor, he can move around a lot more easily.
Piccolo Jr.?
Piccolo Jr., yeah. So his power level is actually more than that when he takes off the weighted training armor.
Okay. That's fine. So he can shoot magic out of his hands.
Piccolo can.
He shoots it at Raddatz, and Raddatz shoots more power back. I feel like. So what's how many times more than 5 is 320?
60 ish.
64.
It's 64.
So 64 times more powerful than me, then I can shoot magic out of my hands.
Yeah. You're not that far away, really, when you think about it.
I guess.
If you just like started working out, you know, like you could cut
wearing
that over
weighted training clothes.
Yeah, you could shoot magic out of your hands.
So then Piccolo Jr. freaks out. Also, apparently this
Because he hits Raddatz with a beam, and Raddatz just kind of goes, "Oh, thanks, that was fun." Like it didn't
Yeah.
affect him at all.
But then he senses more power.
Right, Raddatz is just about to kill Piccolo for fun when he senses a stronger energy level, which must be Goku.
So Piccolo, is he a bad guy still? If it's
Basically, yes.
Okay. But
As far as we're all aware, yes.
But he's still allowed to just live on Earth as a green man.
Yeah,
a
isn't that
moon
interesting?
man.
Yeah.
As a bad moon man, and everyone's just fine with it. I guess
No one hunted him down or nothing. I don't know. I don't know the final like. I think Piccolo showed up in the tail end of Dragon Ball, and I don't really know what the outcome of that was.
Okay.
So I assume they just ended it peacefully somehow.
Okay.
Because Goku doesn't want to kill people; he just has to sometimes.
Don't we all?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So then, Raddatz.
And I want to take this opportunity real quick. Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z loves doing little fun naming conventions for different groups of people. So
Like food for pigs and bad men.
yeah, exactly. So what was the name of the Saiyan home planet?
Vegeta.
And what does that maybe make you think of?
Vegetables.
Vegetables. Okay. So every Saiyan is named after a vegetable. So you got Raddatz. It's radish.
Okay.
You got Kakarot is a carrot.
Okay.
We'll meet more later, but those are the two we have so far.
Karkaroff.
Boris Karkaroff. Yeah.
What is his real name? Karkaroff?
Kakarot.
Kakarot.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, like a carrot.
Yeah, like a cook a carrot. Later, we'll meet a man named Nappa. Nappa cabbage, I believe.
Or wine.
Or wine. I'm not sure what Bardock is supposed to be. Maybe it's bok choy, maybe.
Sure.
That's a real stretch.
Vegeta.
Vegetable.
It was a vegetable name.
There you go. Simple.
Someone, I don't know who, but someone said the word hell, which was very surprising to me.
Oh, did they? I didn't catch
Yeah.
that. They'll use a couple swears here and there, I think, because it's Kai. It's a little more...
Okay, a little more adult.
A little more adult.
erotic.
a little more erotic.
So Raddatz shows up on Pervert Island and says...
Before we get to that real quick...
Oh, sure.
When Goku shows up, he asks, or someone asks Krillin where everyone is, and Krillin just spouts off 40 names that you're just expected to know who the hell they are. So he says, these are the people we just in the span of 3 seconds, we get Krillin, Bulma, Yamcha, Launch, Tien Shinhan, and the turtle is there too. You don't know who any of those people are, and you will meet them later.
I know who Bulma is because
Shit.
earlier in the episode she was wearing a t-shirt that said her name on it.
It's very nice of her.
And I know who Krillin is because he was speaking.
Mm-hmm.
That's it.
And the other people, you will never meet Launch ever.
Great.
And you will meet Yamcha and Tien Shinhan later, who
Okay.
we will know as Tien.
Okay.
So Raddatz shows up. He spoils their party.
He does, and he says, Igor Karkaroff, you betrayed the Dark Lord, and I'm here to kill you. You're my brother. This belt is my tail. And that's how the episode ends.
Yes, that is correct. So at this point, Goku doesn't know what's happening. No one knows what's happening.
Goku thinks that he's just a monkey man from Earth.
Goku thinks Goku doesn't even think he's a monkey man. He just thinks he's a normal man.
He had a tail.
But he doesn't realize that all men don't have tails.
He does because when he gets on Pervert Island, they're like, "Oh, is this your son with the tail?" And he says, "Yes, he has a tail like I used to have." Remember?
Yeah.
So it seems like maybe he thinks it's not super weird, but definitely not.
He definitely
super normal.
He knows it's not weird in his head.
But he also is a doofus, so maybe he's just like, whoa.
You have to realize he basically grew up by himself in the middle of the woods.
Okay.
So he doesn't know anything.
Sure.
He had a grandpa named Gohan who was killed. He was killed by a big monster.
Okay. And then he named his boy Gohan after his
dead grandpa.
So Hairman says, Karkaroff, you're my brother. Goku says, my name's Goku.
Mm-hmm. And that's the main struggle of this whole season is, you're my brother. No, I'm not. Yes, you are. No, I'm not. No, wouldn't that be terrible?
I feel like that's what's going to happen.
It's not. I promise it's not.
And that's how the episode ends, which was a pretty good cliffhanger.
It's a good cliffhanger, right?
Yeah.
We get introduced to the characters. Everything seems peachy, and then Tragedy strikes. The return of Prologue to battle. The return of Goku.
Yeah, and that's it.
How do you feel about it? On a scale of let's do on a scale of 1 star to 7 star Dragon Balls.
Okay.
Where would you rank this episode?
Compared to what?
You have nothing to compare it to. Let's set a base right now.
I mean, 3, I guess, then.
This will be a 3-star show. 3-star episode.
So every episode past this will either be better or worse than this episode.
And you're going to give it a 3, huh? We're going to get into some negative Dragon Balls, I think. This is a -2 Dragon Ball episode, you'll say. So you're going to say this is a 3.
Well, maybe I say 0, and then it can be, it's like the...
It's an absolute, or like...
It's like a pH scale of Dragon Balls.
I love that. Okay, so episode 1 is a 0, and we can have anywhere between -7 and +7 Dragon Balls.
Yeah.
Okay, I love that. That's a good idea.
I feel like nothing happened and so much happened.
Yeah,
They threw a lot of information at me and nothing happened.
Yeah, definitely. Things get a lot simpler pretty quick.
I sure hope so.
Yeah, don't worry.
You
You feeling good though?
I'm feeling okay. I regret making people pay for this because that means we have to do it.
That's what I love about it, is that we have to do it now.
But maybe I'll become a Dragon Boy and like get really into it.
You might become a Dragon Boy.
I did, the other day after it was like yesterday after I watched this, I just saw a dude walking around who was wearing a t-shirt or a jacket or something that was the
prison
gi. And I was like,
oh, that's Dragon Ball.
What's up, dude?
So there you go.
I got 4. What do you got?
You're gonna make a whole bunch of new friends, I think, who all share your passion for Dragon Ball Z.
And I think for Halloween, I'll probably be Goku and Jessica will be Chi-Chi.
I think that's good.
Because if there's one thing she loves, it's Dragon Ball. Z. Kai.
Oh boy. Okay. Well, thanks for joining us on this first inaugural episode of Dilettante Ball Z.
Yeah, and next time will be the second inaugural episode.
Exactly. Yeah. And so if you want to catch more of this, check us out on Patreon.com/Arcade Audio. We'll be putting up an episode about once a month, maybe more. We'll sort of feel it out, but definitely once a month at least.
And next Tuesday, we'll get back to your regularly scheduled non-Dragon Ball Dilettante Ball. Not Z.
Yeah, don't worry. If you don't like Dragon Ball, don't worry. You don't ever have to hear about it ever again.
Although maybe I'll get super into it and it'll just be like my life now. And you will only hear about it.
Yeah. Oh, I do have to ask you one question, or 2 questions. Who's your favorite character?
Well, based on laughs alone, Frieza. But based on like people that I've actually encountered, I do like Goku because he seems like a very silly man.
Good guy. Who's your least favorite character?
Oh, Dr. Pervert.
Okay. Thanks for joining us, and we'll catch you next time on Dilettante Ball Z. Johnny, let's do a preview of next episode. What do you think's going to happen?
I think that, Raddatz and Goku. Well, so many people are there. And what kind of training did Roshi give to Goku? Laser power training?
Good questions.
So maybe we'll learn something about that. I think that either Goku will come to terms with him having a bad boy brother, or he won't. And maybe Raddatz will kidnap Gohan. That'd be cool.
Thank you for playing Arcade Audio. Play more at arcadeaudio.net.